Okay, so let's unpack this. Today, July 3rd, something interesting caught our eye on Orlando Bloom's social media. And it wasn't just, typical celebrity stuff. It felt more like a surprising way into looking at, well, universal human things like loneliness and personal change.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here is how Bloom, sharing these Carl Jung quotes, it gives us this kind of profound lens to understand transitions, internal states, even when you're living life out loud very publicly. So our mission for you in this deep dive is really to pull out the core insights from this, things that resonate way beyond just the headlines.
Right. So the immediate context we should mention is the reported amicable split between Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry after what's being called 9 years together. U.S. Weekly is reporting it. Sources apparently told them they've been living apart since Perry's tour started back in April.
Right, the Lifetimes tour.
Yeah, citing tensions and the idea that they've just grown apart and aren't living the same lives anymore.
And their relationship, I mean, it's had its ups and downs, hasn't it? They met, Golden Globes after party in 2016?
That sounds right.
Then there was that split in 2017 where they talked about respectful but loving space.
I remember that phrase.
Then they got back together, engaged in 2019, and their daughter, Daisy, was born in 2020.
And we should probably mention Bloom also has his son, Flynn, who's 13 now, with Miranda Kerr.
Right, exactly. So there's history there.
Okay, so that sets the scene. But the real interesting part, the deep dive here, is how Bloom seems to be, processing this. Turning to Carl Jung, that's not your average celebrity Instagram post.
No, it's definitely not.
Jim, this major figure in psychology, talking about how we evolve, define ourselves. So what exactly did Bloom share today?
Well, he posted two pretty powerful quotes on his Instagram stories.
Yeah.
The first one, it really makes you rethink isolation. He goes, loneliness does not come from having no people about one, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to oneself.
Wow. Okay. That really hit me. Because we usually think loneliness is just, well, being physically alone. But that Jung quote turns it completely around. What's your take on how someone might use that idea in a situation like this?
Well, it's a really key distinction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jung and Bloom, by sharing it, is pointing to something deeper, like a kind of isolation that comes from not being able to share your true self, your vulnerabilities, maybe what you really need or how you're changing. Makes you ask, right? In this world where we're always connected online, are we really communicating what matters? We're just, posting a curated version. So loneliness becomes about the quality of connection, not just the quantity of people around.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So if that first quote challenges our idea of connection, the second one seems more about action. What was the second Jung quote he shared?
The second one was just as impactful, I think. We are not what happened to us, we are what we choose to become.
Okay, now this feels really relevant for anyone going through a big life shift. It sounds like more than just, a feel-good quote. What's the deeper takeaway here for us?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just motivational fluff. It's a really stark reminder of our own agency, our power. Even when things are tough, like a public breakup or any personal challenge, really, it's saying, hey, you get to decide who you become next. You actively choose. You're not just defined by the event itself.
So resilience, but also active creation of self.
Exactly. Actively stepping into a new chapter, rather than just letting the past define who you are now.
And it's quite a contrast, isn't it? Seeing these sort of private, reflective thoughts alongside their public lives. Like the source material mentions Katy Perry getting some flack recently for tour stunts, and even criticism for that Blue Origin spaceflight in April.
Yeah, there's been some online chatter about that. And meanwhile, you see Bloom recently attending Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's big wedding over in Venice. It just sort of highlights that beneath all the public appearances and headlines, for both of them, these really deep, universal questions about connection and identity and change are probably playing out. What really stands out is how just a personal reflection shared by someone famous can actually trigger this deeper look into things we all face, that search for real connection and the incredible power we have in choosing our path forward, no matter what's going on around us.
So the big question for you listening is, as you navigate your own shifts, whether they feel huge or small, where do you find that genuine connection? And maybe more importantly, amidst all the changes, what do you choose to become? Definitely something for you to mull over until our next deep dive.